Hi everyone, Mitch and Nobby here. We're going to do Rakers, West Coast Saw 325, Raker gauge, file. Let's get to it. For 325, Rakers are the most important, besides the sharp tooth, application for your chain. I run the top setting. I forget the thousands that this runs at. I think there's a 25 and a 30 or somewhere in there. I forgot already, but usually on my 3/8 I will go a couple sharpenings and then redo them. These are more important to keep tuned because it is a smaller tooth and you need to make sure you're not getting too much blockage of the way of extraction. So let's dive into it. I've been using the top one. I might actually get a little antsy on this one and try the lower setting. I actually haven't done it yet, so. I have a vise set up on my bench. It's a 3/8 bar, but it rolls fine with a 3/8. So I don't switch sides to counteract the other tooth. I just come up at an angle and it tends to get it. Might be a little low. These aren't that high. I'm going to keep it with what it is, and if it needs adjusted, needs adjusted. These actually aren't that bad because, you know what? The heck with it. Got you guys here with me? Why not? We'll just do the lower tooth. The lower setting. So, I'm running this. This is a 20-inch chain. My Cannonbar, I lost the tip on it. So I'm not running 28 right now. I'm back to the 20. The reason I'm wearing the glove is because if I smack into the edge of this, it makes my finger raw after a while. So, but if you at a certain angle, it squeaks like that. If you come straight on, if you turn it up, it won't do it as bad. So this might be a bit aggressive, but we're going to see how it cuts tomorrow. 325. It's good to have it fairly aggressive, but not overly aggressive. We'll see if this is going to be too much. If it's too low, though, it cuts really slow. So it really does need to be tuned at the higher one, or even a little more. Sometimes I'll take a swipe off if it's just not feeling right in the woods. Lower is probably a little bit better. If you're not dogging in, you can back bar and so on to adjust for a hungry chain. But if you're too high, you're just slow going all day, and it's not even worth it, really. So keeping a tuned chain is important. Now, you get these people like, oh, you just do 2 swipes out in the bush or whatever. You can do that in a pinch, but if you do that over and over again, like that's how you're setting your Rakers, your chain's going to be unadjusted. That's not the way to do it. Get a gauge. You don't have to use this one. I like these West Coast Saw ones. They're my favorite. But you want to gauge them because you want to set the tooth. You want to set the Raker to each tooth. Otherwise, you're going to get not the best cutting performance, and you could also possibly get your cuts to turn. Some of these teeth have been rocked, not terribly, but enough to lower, have to lower the Raker from the other teeth. So I'm just going to make this one super hungry and hope it's not too bad. If it is, I'll swap to my other chain, and then I will just grind it again. just take a touch off the teeth. I've been running these, I found these at the saw shop. Let's see if I can get it in there. Baco, Orberg. They're from Portugal. They were at the local Stihl shop, and I actually like these files. I've been able to get like 4 or 5 chains on the Rakers per file. And that's quite well. I mean, the files I've been using lately have just, I think I was using some Oregon ones, and they weren't great. I don't know, maybe it was just a weird batch. To me, lately, files have been going downhill. Like, they're not as good as they used to be. Kind of seems to be the trend with everything in the world right now. It's not as good as it used to be. So yeah, that's not terribly low. I'll show the tooth after I get them all done, lined up with the Raker. Very important to keep them tuned. Now, I'm not going back and forth on the plate. I know someone's going to say something about it, but even if I was, it don't matter. I like to whack my file every now and then to get shavings out of it. There is 91 drivers on a 20-inch 325 chain. So, I hate doing Rakers because there's a lot of them. But you also want to keep up on them because if you really have to get them filed down, it takes you a lot longer to go for a big grind versus just touching them up. These, since I'm dropping them to lower setting, they're going down quite a ways. This is going to be a really boring video, but maybe somebody will want to watch it. This is quite the workout. I end up getting, if I do it at the end of the day, which is when I grind my chains, I end up getting hand cramps because I'm holding this thing on here. I would love to find an actual mechanized, like, machine Raker grinder. I've seen them around. I don't know who makes them anymore. But that would be just awesome because a pack of files is like $100 now. These are cheap at, I think they're $6 a piece, $5 or $6 a piece. So yeah, I mean, the last dozen of Oregon that I bought, I was having to, even switching sides on the file, I went through the box in no time. I was like, man, I don't remember files used to be being this, you know, wear out so fast. So then I got tired of it and I went and bought one of those big bastard files. It's like, this ought to last a while. It didn't last either. And I know somebody's gonna hop in there and be like, you were dragging it back and forth. No, it wasn't. They're just not lasting. I don't know why. Crappy Stihl, crappy batch of Stihl. I was running Stihls for a while. You get a pack of 2 for like $6, but the shop doesn't have them anymore. Can't find them. So they got these in, and I really like them actually. We're coming to an end. All right. It's the last one. So let's see if I can get this in the... See, that's not a bad... That's not too aggressive. It's going to be aggressive, but it's not terribly low. Oh, that's something I want to talk on real quick. I want to pause this real fast lag. Gonna dip into some bar talk real quick. So, this is a stripped Stihl Light 04 bar. I ended up burning the rails when the oiler went out on my 500i. And it was sporadically oiling and not oiling. But anyway, so the Lido 4 bars, they are made in Brazil. Now everybody's like, oh, Brazil, they're going to be a crappy bar, right? No, they're not. They are actually a really good bar. I've got a few hundred hours. This is my oldest 325 bar in the 20-inch. I used the crap out of it. Now this is only, what, an inch and a half, inch and 3/4 tip. It's small. I haven't lost a tip on any of these bars yet. I've got 3 of these. But here's the regular steel bar. This one is a lot heavier. The rails, now I haven't tuned the rails on this bar, ever. I have not filed them off. I had to file these off the first week I had it. Just it started to bevel out. The regular steel bar is actually crappier made than the Brazil Lido 4 bars. I actually really like the Lido 4. Got 3 of them. I've smashed them. I've pushed on them. I haven't been easy on them, and they hold up. I stand by these. Now, I haven't tried them in 3/8, but in 325 with this small little tip, it gets it done, and it gets it done well. I don't like that bar. It bent easy. I had to do the rails really quick, and I don't know, it's not, and it's more expensive. That's an $85 bar, I think, and that's a $60 bar, $55, $60 bar. The Brazilian one's better. Now you know.